Hey there, I'm Anastasia from GARDENWORKS, and today I wanted to talk about trendy, super interesting plants that we can finally get our hands on. You know, those plants that you've been seeing on social media for years. We finally have a few really cool ones that I want to share with you today. And let's just dive in. I've got a few here to show you. So I'm going to start off with this guy right here. This is a Schizomatoglottis. Quite a mouthful, but a super cool plant and quite rare. This guy comes from Thailand, and it's got gorgeous marbled foliage, very similar to an aglaonema or a Chinese evergreen. And these guys actually don't require a whole ton of care. They are really happy in low light conditions. They do enjoy bright indirect light, but they absolutely do not like direct sunlight. They burn really easily that way. The other thing you want to know about these guys is that they actually stay quite compact. They'll get maybe a couple feet tall, but they will stay in a nice compact bush form. And so for propagation for these guys, you don't actually take cuttings, you separate their pups out. So the mother plant will shoot out little baby plants all around her. You could take those out, plant them into their own soil, and give them away to friends and family. And speaking of soil, they do need really well draining soil. So lots of perlite, a little bit of grit in there will go a long way for these guys. And for watering, you want to make sure the top 2 inches of soil are dry to the touch before you give them a good soak. These guys require pretty high humidity. If you see browning around the edges of the leaves, that means your humidity is a little bit too low. So first plant, Schizomatoglottis, really cool plant from Thailand. Definitely one to add to your collection. So another couple of plants that I really like that we have right now are a climber and a trailer. So I've got a vanilla orchid here. Really cool. This is where you get your vanilla beans from. It's not likely that you would get some vanilla beans out of this guy at home. They do need a really specific environment in order to produce. And so they need really warm environments with lots of humidity. And I'm talking like crazy humidity, 80% to 90% humidity. And in the wild, these guys can grow like 20, 30, 40, 50 feet long, and they produce the nice big vanilla pods. At home though, what you can do is, as this guy is growing, it's got aerial roots here, you can attach it to a moss pole. And we do have some really great pre-made ones from Mossify. They're really easy. You just stick it into the soil and you attach your plant to it with the little staples it comes with. But yeah, that's the vanilla orchid. It will flower with a little white flower if you can get it to 20 feet long. Really cool one. You'll definitely want to add this one to your collection, especially if you have a little mini greenhouse in your home. The next one I wanted to talk about was the turtle vine. Now people are asking about this guy all the time. It is such a cute little plant. It's got little round leaves, and the sort of variegation on the back makes it look like a little turtle shell. They're super cute. They can get quite long, and these guys are sort of considered a succulent type plant. They have thicker leaves, and they don't require as much water as some other foliage trailing plants. I do recommend you use a really well draining soil for this guy. Sort of like a cactus soil would do really well, maybe with a little extra sand to it. These guys do need quite bright light, like think of a succulent or a cactus. That's kind of what you want to go for these guys. Really cute. We have them in little 2-inch pots. They're super adorable. Great for a windowsill in a south-facing room. Finally, I want to talk about my absolute favorite family of plants, and these are carnivorous plants. The ones I have here are Pinguicula, or ping for short. A lot of people call them just pings, and they're also known as butterworts. Now, the cool thing about these guys is that there are butterworts in so many places of the world, in temperate, tropical climates, in sort of more dry climates. A lot of people know about the Mexican butterwort, which likes it a little bit on the dry side. I've got a couple tropical ones here today, and they like super moist environments. What I usually do with mine at home is I top water them, but I also keep them in a tray with distilled water or just purified water. These guys have pad-like leaves with tiny little hairs that secrete a sticky substance, and in the light, these tiny little droplets of this substance shines and it attracts bugs. When a bug lands on it, they get super stuck, and then the plant secretes a digestive enzyme that slowly breaks down that bug and basically eats it, absorbs its nutrients. Some varieties of ping actually close their leaves over their prey, and this is so that water doesn't wash them away while they're trying to digest them. And so since they eat their prey and get their nutrients from their leaves, they actually have a super shallow root system that doesn't really need any fertilizer, and they grow in pretty poor soil environments. So when you're planting one of these guys up, I suggest doing equal parts of perlite, pumice, sand, and peat. Gives them a really nice gritty soil to work with, and super easy. You don't have to fertilize them during the growing season. They'll get that from all those fungus gnats and fruit flies that are all around your place, being super annoying in your other tropical plants. And to keep these guys moist, I do like to mist mine quite often, pretty much every day. Just keep them nice and happy. And I just use a nice handheld mister, super easy. I just put it into my routine, my daily routine. Wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, mist your plants, super easy. And one last one I just want to throw out there. I know it's been around for a little bit, but they're still just so cool. It's the Black Raven ZZ plant. Another super easy care plant, super slow growing, doesn't require a lot of water and doesn't require a lot of light. So if you can get your hands on one of those, that's definitely a great conversation starter among your plant collection. Thanks for joining me today, you guys, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.